More than 11 million viewers tuned in to watch Netflix's latest hit show, Three-Body Problem, in the first week after its launch. The team that created the HBO series Game of Thrones reunited to adapt an award-winning science fiction book series written by Chinese novelist Liu Cixin. Both the novels and the show tell the story of humanity's first contact with a technologically advanced alien race, or Trisolarians, on their way to conquer Earth. Liu's original work is written as a thought-provoking yet slowly paced epic, but some say the TV screenplay deviates far too much.
我觉得它应该会是一个非常像《全游》一样非常大的一个制作的一个史诗级大制作。但是最后出来结果可能会让大家有一点失望吧。
Zhu Liu runs a review channel on the Chinese video sharing platform Bilibili. She never shows her face and instead uses this avatar. Her first problem with Three-Body Problem was that simply the books were better.
对于原著的话，这部作品在中国非常的受欢迎。我们觉得它是一部非常伟大的科幻小说啊，而且是一个在光年尺度上的一个史诗作品。它不仅故事很精彩，想象力非常的惊人，而且同时也有很高的思想的价值。最主要的问题在于，可能他把原著的故事过于的简化，因为它只有8集嘛，所以它的故事其实相比于原著来说可能对于那些没有看过书的读者是比较友好的，但是他过于的把这个故事给肤浅化了。
Although the US rating site IMDb scored the show a 7.8 out of 10, Chinese viewers weren't so quick to praise it. The Chinese equivalent, Douban, gave Netflix's version a 6.8. But that didn't stop people from watching it, even though Netflix is blocked in mainland China. Chinese BitTorrent downloads topped over 90,500 on the first day of its release on Netflix, surpassing the streaming site's other popularly downloaded shows like Squid Game and Stranger Things. China was clearly keen to watch the adaptation of Liu's beloved novel, but Zhu says writers prioritized a Western audience.
如果说这部小说它的原著里面它原著的主角是黑人，那很显然他是不能把它变成别的种族，变成白人或怎么样。那为什么是亚洲人，他就一定要变成别的种族？就不明白他这个处理的就是原因何在。
Liu's novels largely take place in China, and most of the main characters are Chinese. However, the Netflix adaptation chose London as its main setting, thus changing the nationality and names of many of the characters. Take the Oxford Five, for example. In the show, they're a group of friends who attended university in the UK together and work to figure out why the world's top scientists are dying. The group includes 3 white characters, a black character, and an Asian woman. But in the book, all of these characters were really just one person, Chinese professor Wang Miao, an applied physicist specializing in nanofiber technology. Media critic and South China Morning Post contributor James Marsh explains the choice was clearly intentional.
Obviously, the creators of the show have made a lot of changes, and they have changed the ethnicity and the cultural background of a number of the key characters. And you can see why they've done it. They've done it to try and make the story more global, try and make the story more accessible to Netflix's huge international audience.
China's state media chimed in with a blistering critique on China Military Online, owned by the People's Liberation Army. The commentary argued the US-made show diversified much of the cast and setting, but ultimately, Netflix villainized China.
By changing the ethnicity of some of the other characters, you can now, if you want to, point and say, all the bad guys are Chinese. Why is that?
The show opens in 1966 during China's Cultural Revolution. A crowd of Maoists cheer on the lethal beating of a professor who supported scientific discoveries in the West. The professor's daughter, Ye Wenjie, is then a primary character in the series. Critics say her role in the books is dynamic, but she is simplified to a villain role in the series. Zhu said the Western-born Chinese protagonist appeared shallow and out of touch with her own culture.
我觉得他们在表面上确实是还是挺还原的，就是我说的表面意思是场景啊，或者是人物的服装啊，或者是造型啊，或者甚至演员说的中文也都是非常标准的。但事实他对人物内核的还原，其实就他不像是一个中国人，我就说这个叶文洁这个主角，他更像是一个就是那种 American born Chinese， right ABC。
Zhu concluded Netflix's version was oversimplified and left book fanatics wanting for more. Marsh agreed, but said that's often the case, regardless of the source material.
Yes, of course they're simplifying it. There's a lot more you can do on the page than you can on the screen in an allotted amount of time. I mean, I think that's a criticism that you can level at almost any screen adaptation of any story. It's purely that you've got to make it, it has to fit a very specific amount of runtime.
Though there is a divided opinion over the latest Netflix hit, Liu's works have inspired content representing Chinese culture in a way that is rarely seen in the West. Whether or not writers should stick more closely to the source material is a debate certain to continue.